July 2019, I made a video on this ginormous hidden spiral staircase that was made by me and Mr. Timmerman over there. Now this thing is humongous, and guess what? It sucks because it's locational, and I broke it again. I swear I did this the last recording. I just broke it again. So yeah, this thing's locational. Let me just unbreak it a quick second. Thank you, Minecraft, for doing this. So yeah, this thing doesn't work anymore. Well, it still works, it's just locational, so I hate it now. And then, it doesn't really matter because a few days later after I made that video, Nacay came and helped me and Mr. Tim over there compact it. So we shaved an entire layer off the back, and then we have this design over here. I'm not going to flick the lever, it does the exact same thing. And then, a few more days later, Mr. Timmerman, who is now fading out of existence, made an even smaller one and got it down to 5 blocks wide. And then we have this design. Wow, look at that. He used a slightly different back layout to make it a lot easier and smaller and less complicated. But yeah, this was the smallest for a very, very long time. But then this guy joined my server and he was like, yo, what's the smallest hidden spiral staircase? And I was like, I don't know why. And then boom, he just sends me a picture and it's like 10 times smaller than Timmerman's. And then he sends me a world download because I asked for it. And this is the design that he came up with. This isn't the design I'll be showing, but this was pretty big for me because I'm like, okay, this thing can be a lot smaller. But there are two things that I don't like about this design. One, uses target blocks, EU, not 1.15 friendly. And two, and this is an absolute sin, it has uncontained slime. As you can see, the whole screen went dark because that's how horrible uncontained slime is. So then I was like talking to him and he's like, yo, you want to team up? How about we make an even smaller spiral staircase? And he's like, okay. And that's exactly what we did. So we're gonna do this all nice and formal and even go down through a little cave over here. So if we just, you know, kind of run down, we run down this big old cave, and then, oh boy, what's this? We found a room. Oh, it also happens to be a perfectly naturally generated circular room. How fun. And I think that's a button. And oh boy, there's the spiral staircase. Isn't that amazing? As you can see, it's infinitely continuable. It's non-seamless, obviously, but to be honest, it's not as horrible as you might think. I mean, it's tolerable. You can just walk past this and just go all the way to the bottom. And ready for this? Oh boy, I even built this nice room with, oh boy, use looms as empty bookshelves. Oh yeah, we're going all formal. Nice shroom lights, armor. Push this button over here and it closes it up on the top. We can even check if we just go all the way up our staircase. As you can see, the top is now closed. Don't really know why you'd need to do that, so let's just open it again. So over here, push this button and we go back up. And the great thing about this spiral staircase is that it's button activated, so you don't need any weird T flip-flops or any of those complicated things. You can just hook 2 buttons into the exact same input and it just works perfectly, and it's really nice. So push this button and it all hides away and you can't see anything, and it's so majestic. So here is the spiral staircase in all of its glory. As you can see, this thing is absolutely tiny compared to the other spiral staircase I did a video on. It is only 5 by 10 by 3, making it only 150 blocks in volume. But here's where I'm the big sad. It's not the smallest. As I was recording this, Nacay, like the Redstone record sweat he is, had to make a smaller one. So now he has a smaller one where he shaves the entire bottom layer, so it's a whole 50 blocks smaller, and that makes me sad. But I don't care, I still really like this design. It's still really small and we're still going to do a video on it, so push the button and this is what it looks like. It looks really cool and interesting. We got that game speed mod with those fun pistons made by Game For You. I guess I have to link that now. And there we go. We have that, and the door is closed. So like I said, I don't know if I explicitly said this, but this is made by me and Noah, and his IGN is just Noah in Minecraft. I don't know, very creative name. Basically, he came up with this layout that was just very easy to use and very good. So basically what the layout is, we have like this little 2x1 trapdoor with these pistons and these pistons. They take these blocks over here. It also pushes this sticky piston down here. And what we have on the other side is we have a block swapper. So we have this sticky piston, and that sticky piston when it gets pushed over. So let me just remove these 3 blocks, which aren't the ones that get pushed, and we can kind of see that block swapper do some fun stuff. So there we go. it swaps the block and it pushes it back, and that is basically how we do this entire half of it. And then over here we have our really easy pusher system. We just have a double piston extender pusher, and these are the 3 floor blocks. This all gets pushed over, and then we have a piston here, piston behind this block, and we get a piston here that is pushed by another piston that is behind this observer, and that is how we get those 3 blocks pushed. So there we go. And this comparator just powers all of those pistons really nice and easy. Push this button, and then that all retracts. And then when this retracts, it updates this note block, and it just double extends and pushes all the blocks back across, and boom, we get a staircase. So now that you know how it works just a little bit, we're gonna learn how to build it. So it is building time. So to build this staircase, these are the things you need. You can just pause the video and get these things. If you're in survival, if you're in creative, you can just get one of each. It doesn't really matter. And this bottom row of things that you need here, these are some extra blocks that you're going to need to cover up the redstone when you're done. So the cyan wool is your wiring blocks. The quartz block will represent your wall blocks or your flooring or whatever the actual blocks that you'll see. So this can be anything, really, doesn't really matter. The stair blocks is also going to be the same block type as this block. So this smooth quartz is also smooth quartz. This is going to be needed when you cover up the redstone. And then you need string. This is sort of optional, but it silences one of the note blocks. And then a button for your input. So those are the things you need. So let's just get them out and hope that I can do redstone well. We're going to need these for later. Let's get this, and we'll just... I think this is a good setup right now. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to clear a 5 by 10 hole, and it needs to be 3 blocks deep. So imagine this white glass is the level of your floor, and you need 3 blocks of space under that. This bottom layer, we're not going to be putting any redstone here. This is just here so I can just place stuff on top of, so I don't just put it in midair. And this is where your staircase is going to be. So in your hole, you're going to go 3 blocks from the left. This is the 3 by 3 area where your staircase is going to be, and this is where the beginning of your staircase is going to be, these 3 orange blocks. So we're just going to go up to your floor level, which is this white glass here, and we're just going to put 3 quartz blocks or whatever your floor blocks are. And I do need a slab. That's also pretty important for this build. You know what, we're just going to get some smooth stone slabs, because why not? So after you make your little L shape, you're going to put a slab here, and then a block, and then a slab here, and then we're going to put a block like that, and then a slab, and then a block, and then a slab. So that is your staircase, and then you can continue it all the way down if you want, but we'll do that after. And then your pillar down the middle like this. So this is your staircase. So now we're going to start with the piston layout. First, you're going to take out this second pillar block. So first pillar block, second one, you're going to punch it out, and you're going to put a sticky piston right there. And now you're going to put a decoration block right here, because you're going to need that to power one of your pistons later. And you're going to put a sticky piston over here and a sticky piston over here with some blocks on top. And then we're going to put 4 sticky pistons going behind it. So one there, and let's see if I can get the other ones. One here and one here. So those are your sticky pistons. And then over here, we're going to go next to this block, and then go 2 blocks out like this. It's also going to be a block that you'll be able to see, so make it something that you want your floor to be. And you're going to put a sticky piston going like that. And we're going to put another sticky piston going over here. So there we go, that is going to be our swapper. And then over here, this is going to be a floor block. This is going to be a floor block, and this is going to be a floor block. So place 3 blocks that you want on your floor over here. You're going to place a normal piston behind it, and a sticky piston behind that normal piston like that. And then over here, you're going to put a normal piston over here, so flush with this wall area over here. And then sticky piston 1 block away from it like that. Under, you're going to put a sticky piston right here like that, so it's going to be visible. You're going to put a sticky piston next to that, and a sticky piston 1 block away like this, with a sticky piston pushing into it like that, so it's going to retract it. I just messed up and looked a little bit off. And then finally, we're going to put an observer under here, and a sticky piston behind it like that. That's going to power this piston when we retract it, and it will create like a hole in the wall. So like if we just look at this one, it is going to create a hole in the wall over here, but that doesn't really matter too much. And then over here, Next to the sticky piston, we're going to put a normal piston like that, sticky piston, an observer facing upwards under it, and a sticky piston pushing this observer like that. So this is your entire piston layout. So now we actually have to start the redstone. So let me just rearrange my stuff. Let me get a nice lime wool for the input just so you can all see it. So the input is going to be over here on this piston, and we're going to put 2 blocks going like this, and this is where your button is going to go. And then you're going to put 2 pieces of redstone like that. You're going to put a normal piston facing towards this direction, so towards this piece of dust, and you're going to put an observer here going into that block. We're just going to break that, and an observer here. So these observers are facing towards the staircase, and then we're going to put blocks in front of it like that, solid blocks. Make sure they're solid so then it can actually power those pistons. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put a note block over here, and an observer facing this way. Oh my god, why is my mouse clicking twice? It's really annoying. And then we're going to put a decoration block here, and we're going to just might as well fill all of this with decoration blocks. So like that, note block, and then observer here, and then a block down with a 3-tick repeater. I'm going to put a block over here and a block up. Get your redstone dust, which should be in my inventory. What am I doing? Like that. You're going to put a sticky piston facing upwards with an observer facing towards like this block, like in this direction. We're just going to break this so we have more room. And then we're also going to put a block over here. And then we're going to put an observer going into this block. Actually, we're going to break that. And we're going to put a sticky piston facing downwards, and then just put that block back. And a sticky piston facing this way, so kind of the opposite direction of this piston. And an observer over here. And that should basically be the entire flush little trapdoor thing and the swapper. So if we just push the button and hope that I got everything right, as you can see, we have this entire half of the staircase all closed. And push the button again, and it's going to open. So we have the slab here, we have this whole part over here, and we have the block that kind of retracts here. So now to kind of cover this section up, you're going to put a block here. And this is where you're going to need your staircase, because this can't be a solid block, it has to be a transparent block. So I just put a staircase over here, since it kind of looks like a wall. From this angle, it looks exactly like a normal block, so that's why I'm just using a staircase. So now we're going to do this little slider in the back. So this part's also pretty easy. Get your observers. You're going to put 2 observers going like this, one here, and a block like that. And now over here, we're going to put 3 like decoration wall blocks. So one here, one there, and one here. Don't know why my mouse keeps clicking. Probably have to look into that. And a piece of redstone over here. And then you're going to put a note block going down like this, with another piece of redstone, and then 2 observers, and then a block, redstone dust, and then a block over here, so it powers this back piston. And then over here, we're going to put a block here. So this is another wall block that you'll be able to see. And we're just going to put a normal block next to that. So that's also going to be a decoration block. We're going to get our comparator, our cauldron, our water bucket, all of that. Put your comparator going into this block. And put a cauldron 1 block above like this, and then just fill it with water and throw that out before I completely break everything. Sticky piston over here facing upwards, so it retracts that cauldron. And then observer going here, and it's going to go into the back of that piston. I need some wiring blocks, so there we go. And now we're going to put 2 observers again on this side, like the other side. It's basically exactly the same. And we're going to put a block here. And now we are going to make our T flip-flop. Let me just quickly make sure I get this part right. Okay, so now we're going to put an observer over here, just like this. And we're going to put a sticky piston 1 block away like that, and a block in front like this. And you're going to put an observer facing upwards in front of that sticky piston. Then you're going to grab your note block, do that, and then place it under here. And then you're going to take your observer, and then you're going to make it come out from this note block. Yeah, that's correct. And then you're going to place 2 observers over here. And that should be the entire staircase if I didn't do anything wrong. So let's test it. Push the button. Come on, I didn't even click it. There we go. Push the button. And the entire staircase closes, so we get a nice 3x3 flush floor. And then push the button again. And the entire staircase should open. There we go. We have our piston here. And now we have most of the blocks covered. So now if you want to hide some of the redstone or kind of do that, So what I did in my little demonstration is I just put like 2 blocks behind these air blocks over here and a block up here. So then when you kind of look here, there's not like just air and a hole going into nothingness. And I think, yeah, also just 1 block behind this redstone, so it kind of looks like that, and it looks all pretty. So now if you want to continue this, you can. So let me just break this. This glass is very loud and I don't like it. So if we just kind of continue down like this, we can just put a block, and I should get a slab. There we go. Just a block, and then a slab, and then a block, slab, and you can just continue this pattern as low as you want. So we'll just go to the bottom of our pillar. So there we go. That is our spiral staircase. We can go up the spiral staircase. There we go. And you can just place blocks here under this. Don't place a block here, otherwise it will be pushed into the staircase. This has to be like a hole. Doesn't really matter. It's not that bad. So yeah, you can replace all of these with your, what are they called? Wall blocks. So there we go. All nice and pretty. And yeah, that is your staircase. If you want to cover up the ground, you can just cover it with the same block as your floor, so it actually like is hidden like this. So if we push the button, there we go. Everything is nice and seamless. So now what happens if you want to move the button? So if you want to move the button, there is something you have to pay attention to, and it might break it if you do this wrong. So you can put a repeater going into this block, and then it's as easy as that. You can move the button wherever you want. So if I can just, I don't know, move it all the way back here, I'll just put a block here, push the button, we just move the button all the way over here. There is one thing though that will break it, and that is a piston input. So if you have a piston and a redstone block, it will break the staircase. So do not use a piston and a redstone block. I'll even show you, it will break it. So there we go. Yep. It broke the staircase. So if this happens, just break these blocks, break the 1 block that got pushed out, and then just kind of open it again. So we will just let it open. So I'm just gonna quickly fix this. Actually, let me break the floor so I can see what the heck is happening. This is why you don't use a piston. So you just kind of do this, and this slab, you want to put it up here like that. Put your block back here, and then put your block here, and that should be everything fixed. So do not use a piston, because a piston will break it. Just use a repeater input and you should be fine. See, there we go, it works again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this staircase. Pretty short tutorial. No, I wanted to drop it things. There we go. Pretty short tutorial. Hope you enjoyed. This was a crappy smelly ham, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.